An NBA insider doubles down on the fact that Donovan Mitchell will leave Cleveland. We also have updated odds on what team has the best chances to land Donovan Mitchell if he's made available for a trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not only that, guys, this NBA insider gives us 5 potential trades the New York Knicks could pursue in order to get Donovan Mitchell on this roster. We're going to break down all of this and so much more today. So be sure you're subscribed to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Spida leaving the Cavs? These are 5 potential packages for the Knicks to get Donovan Mitchell on this roster. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you've been looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers lately, they've actually been winning. How is that possible? They've lost players due to injury, but they're still winning. Sometimes when you're injured, your depth shines, and that's exactly what's happening with the Cleveland Cavaliers. But here's the thing. Out of the last 5 to 6 games, they've won most of those games. Donovan Mitchell has missed the last 4 or 5 games right now, and they've been winning without him. That is something to say. Your best player arguably is off the floor, but yet the Cavs are finding a way to win. They just beat the Dallas Mavericks. That is a very good team in the Western Conference. They have been steamrolling other teams. If you don't remember, Luka went in on Christmas Day and dropped 50 on the Suns. But even despite that, the Cavs found a way to win. And honestly, if you look at the difference between when they have Donovan Mitchell and they're winning, and when they don't have Donovan Mitchell and they're winning, you can see that their style of play is very different. And some Cav fans actually think it might be just a little bit better because you don't get the hero ball and you get the ball movement that a lot of fans love and want to see. So some people are saying potentially maybe if they're winning without Donovan, that maybe the Cavs should trade him now, see what assets they can get for him, and then potentially see if they can continue winning in the Eastern Conference. And this is essentially what an NBA insider with SirCharles.com basically stated about the Donovan Mitchell situation. He states Mitchell could find himself on the trade block again, and there's a growing belief that Mitchell will eventually leave Cleveland, if not via trade, then in free agency after the 2024-2025 season. In an attempt to avoid a potential disaster, the Cavs could elect to trade him between now and the 2025 season. He continues by stating the Knicks are among the teams that are expected to show interest in Mitchell if the Cavs explore the possibility of trading him. Even though Cleveland is not at the point just yet, things can change quickly in the NBA, and the Knicks should be prepared for that perfect storm when Mitchell does become available. Note that he says here, note that this NBA insider states that the Knicks should wait for when Mitchell becomes available. Because in his mind, just like I believe, it's only a matter of time before Mitchell becomes available. Regardless of what Cleveland is saying right now and all the messages they're trying to get out of Cleveland, we already know if you're winning without your best player and you're doing so consistently and consecutively, you're going to look at your roster to see how you can upgrade it to get better. And if you look at Donovan Mitchell, he might be their best trade piece right now. Shout out to Bovada Official for giving us the following updated odds on which franchise has the best odds of landing Donovan Mitchell if he leaves Cleveland. And as you can see, leading the charge once again is the New York Knicks at plus 200. But now in this update, the Brooklyn Nets, who used to be second, now is in third at plus 500. Now second place is the Miami Heat at plus 250. Right after the Nets, you have the New Orleans Pelicans at plus 1,200, Sixers at plus 1,800, Raptors at plus 2,800, Hawks at plus 3,300, and Kings at plus 4,000. No surprise there, not a shock to me. The Knicks before were leading the charge in regards to what franchise had the best odds to land Donovan Mitchell, and now in the updated odds, nothing has changed for the number 1 spot. Knicks still leading the charge. But what is a little concerning is the Miami Heat. They're creeping along right in the odds to get Donovan Mitchell. And I don't like that because the Heat are playing very well And they honestly could use a player like Donovan Mitchell right alongside Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. And if they get a player like Donovan Mitchell, they are going to be scary in the East. But you know what? I could say the same thing about the Knicks if they're able to swing a trade to get Donovan Mitchell. They will also be very scary in the Eastern Conference. You pair Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson, along with the defense that Mitchell Robinson will give you once he's back, it will be incredible basketball to watch. They will be must-see each and every night. Explosive backcourt. They can score on anybody on any given night. Talk about giving other defenses fits on each and every night. Who you're going to guard? Who you're going to stop? It would just be incredible to watch. And something to note that this NBA insider noted, that there is a growing belief that Mitchell will eventually leave Cleveland. Now, this is not a surprise or a shock of a report because this exact report has been coming out for the last few weeks, even going back to the offseason. Once he didn't sign that extension with the Cavs, these reports were doomed to happen. They were going to happen. And obviously, when the team is winning without you, it's going to happen even more. And that's where we are right now. The Cavs have a very crucial decision to make because everybody thinks and everybody believes that they know that Donovan Mitchell is not going to sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers long term, and he's not going to stay with them. He is going to leave. He is going to go to another franchise. And as you can see here, once he leaves the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's obvious he's likely going to become a New York Knick. A lot of other franchises know that as well too. So the Cleveland Cavaliers have the most leverage right now to trade Donovan for significant pieces to any other team around the NBA. Because if they wait till next season, his value is going to be halved, and a lot of other franchises are not going to want to give up significant assets for a player that they think might eventually leave that offseason to go to the New York Knicks. Why would you do that? The only franchise that's likely going to want to go involved with that would be the Brooklyn Nets and obviously the New York Knicks. And the Knicks would have the best chance in that regard because everybody knows, it's been known for years, Donovan Mitchell wants to play in New York. Specifically, he wants to be a New York Knick. But as you can see here, Donovan Mitchell could find himself back on the trade block. And for me, that is music to my ears. I've wanted Donovan Mitchell on this team for the last few seasons. And if the Knicks can swing a trade to get Spida on this team, it will likely put a smile on my face permanently for the next few months because I could not hide my excitement if they pull off that type of trade. Donovan, again, is not the perfect fit, but he's the most realistic fit. And if he comes here, he automatically gives you shooting and he automatically gives you spacing. All defenses around the NBA are going to respect him and what he can do. Imagine the backcourt of Donovan and Brunson. It would be must-see, box office, and dare I say, unstoppable given the team that you're facing on a night-to-night basis. That's how good they would be. But when we're talking about Donovan Mitchell and trades for him, we got to think about what are the potential trades the New York Knicks could offer the Cleveland Cavaliers in order to get Donovan Mitchell on this roster. Well, thanks to this NBA insider, as I said at the top of the show, he gives us 5 potential trade packages the New York Knicks could offer Cleveland to get Donovan. Let's start with the first one. In the first one, the Knicks get Donovan Mitchell and Ty Jerome, and the Cleveland Cavaliers get Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, Dante DiVincenzo, a 2024 first-round pick, and a 2026 first-round pick. I don't mind the trade. However, those first-round picks, I would rather one of them be a protected pick versus being a Knick pick. And if I can get that first-round pick in 2024 to be a Knick pick and that 2026 first-round pick to be a protected pick, I am doing this deal each and every day. I love Dante DiVincenzo, but this is Donovan Mitchell we're talking about. I'm doing that trade. The next one is Donovan Mitchell, Dean Wade, Damian Jones, and the Cavs get Grimes, Quickly, Fournier, Hartenstein, a 2024 first-round pick, a 2026 first-round pick, and a 2028 first-round pick. Now, for me, that's a lot of first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell. I get it. Donovan Mitchell, we want him on this roster. I want him on this roster. He could definitely help this Knicks team. However, you don't want to give up too many assets for Donovan Mitchell, somebody who could potentially come here in free agency anyways. So we got to remind ourselves of that as well too. Now, this one is a 3-team trade. The Knicks get Donovan Mitchell and Sandro. I'm not going to even try to pronounce your last name, my friend, but you see it on screen. And then with the Cleveland Cavaliers, they get Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, Hartenstein, and then they get a 2024 first-round pick via New York, a 2026 first-round pick via New York, and a 2026 first-round pick via San Antonio, and the Spurs get Immanuel Quickley. Now, this trade might be ideal for a lot of people. Again, it's all about the first-round picks for me. If the first-round picks, at least one of them from the Knicks, you can make protected via one of the protected picks that we have, and then you give up one of the Knicks picks, and then San Antonio gives up a pick, I am doing this trade. Again, you might think I'm crazy, but Immanuel Quickley is not long-term. We know that. We may love his game, but the Knicks are not going to pay this man long-term to come off the bench making $100+ million. They're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. And his minutes for the season are going down. All of the signs and indicators are pointing to the fact that the New York Knicks are ready to move on from Immanuel Quickley. So it's likely he's going to be in a deal for the New York Knicks to get something significant. And if they can get a player like Donovan Mitchell in the process, they're going to go ahead and do it. This is the one, guys. That deal, the one we're covering right here, this one is the deal I'm doing any day of the week. The Knicks get Donovan Mitchell and Gogo Batidas. I'm sorry I mispronounced your name, but he's from the Magic. He plays reserve behind Wendell Carter Jr. And then you have the Cleveland Cavaliers getting Grimes, Fournier, Hartenstein, a 2024 first-round pick via New York, a 2025 first-round pick via Orlando, and a 2026 first-round pick via the New York Knicks. And the Orlando Magic get Immanuel Quickley. If I can be a little greedy here, I would make that first-round pick for the New York Knicks, one of them anyways, a protected pick via Detroit or via the Wizards, one of those picks. If I can do that, I'm doing this deal any day of the week. Again, I'm being greedy here. But if I can't do that, and I have to include another Knick pick, I'm doing this deal. I get Goga, somebody who is an absolute beast at center. So he's going to help the Knicks immediately, especially at our depth in our front court. And I get Donovan Mitchell, box office Donovan Mitchell, somebody that the Knicks have wanted on this squad for years. No brainer. No brainer. Out of every single trade that I've seen on this list thus far, every single one of them, this one right here, I am doing near automatically without having to change much. It is amazing. Orlando gets more stability at their point guard position and gets to use all of their guards in a trade for another significant piece. Show me where I'm wrong here. Now last on the list, and honestly the most unrealistic, the Knicks get Donovan Mitchell. The Cavs get Quickley, Grimes, Hayward, a 2024 first-round pick via New York, a 2026 first-round pick via New York, a 2027 first-round pick via Charlotte, and the Charlotte Hornets gets Julius Randle. Why does this trade make sense? Why would Charlotte do this? Why would the Knicks give up this many picks in this deal? Especially when we're giving up Julius Randle. This trade, out of all the trades, is not only the worst trade, it makes little to no sense. Absolutely not. Nobody's doing this deal. The Knicks are not doing this deal. And the Knicks were not even called to even create a deal like this. Horrible. Terrible. Horrendous. Leon Rose, New York Knicks. Pick up that phone, call Cleveland, and just verify if Donovan Mitchell and a trade is possible. Because if it is, you gotta make it happen. You gotta make that move happen. You must get a deal done. Because if he's available, the Knicks gotta make a trade happen. They gotta get that deal done, and they gotta get Donovan Mitchell as part of this Knicks team. Unless the overall goal is to get DeJounte Murray on this roster. And if that's the case, I'm not mad at that too. However, the overall point here is that the New York Knicks must make a move. We need an upgrade in talent on this roster. Somebody that can help us with size, spacing, and shooting. Leon, it's on you. But what about you guys? What do you think about this article that just came out about Donovan Mitchell potentially leaving Cleveland? And if he does, the New York Knicks still having the best odds of landing him? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.